Well, orthopedic injuries can be really tough to treat, but if you're looking for a non-surgical way to treat an injury, listen to what our next guest has to say. Joining me now is Dr. John Kearney with the Core Institute, telling us about a new non-surgical treatment. It's called PRP, but first we want to learn a little bit more about the Core's involvement with community sports, because you're kind of out there. Welcome to the show.
Great, thank you, my pleasure. Yeah, the Core Institute tries to be involved in a lot of sports medicine activities throughout the Valley. We're team physicians for 7 different high schools. We're involved with several of the Major League Baseball teams that have training facilities here. Additionally, we're very committed to ongoing education, and we have teaching relationships with all 3 medical schools in the Valley, including the downtown campus of the U of A Medical School. In 2007, we founded the Arizona Sports Medicine Society, which is committed to providing ongoing continuing medical education for sports medicine professionals, people such as athletic trainers and physical therapists and sports medicine physicians.
Well, as people at home are listening to this long list of ways that you're involved in the community, I think it's so important because in doing so, you've got your finger on the pulse of a lot of the medical issues that the athletes face, and you really know kind of what they might face in their season.
Yes, we try to do that. That's our job. And one of the big issues right now that we're facing that's getting a lot of press is concussion in high school sports. And with football season right around the corner, that's our busiest concussion season. I kind of like to refer to it as a brain sprain. And
brain sprain, I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like the way it makes sense to the layman person.
Yes, and this is kind of a moving target in terms of evaluation and management, and it's almost changing by the minute. There's actually some new state legislature very recently that will affect how we treat our high school students who suffer from concussion this coming year. And we run a comprehensive concussion management program at the Core Institute.
Well, and I know that if we could bring up a picture of the brain, one of the things I would imagine as a parent, now my boys are obviously a lot younger, but as a parent I would be going, how do I know that he is okay to hit the field again and play ball again? Because we're talking with the brain. We don't want to create more problems. Yeah, it's very scary when that happens. It's scary for coaches and parents and children and athletes, and a lot of people tend to be either overreacting when this happens or dramatically underreacting, and so we want to strike that balance of getting them back when it's the safest, and there's some newer ways to do that, and the old ways of doing it from even 3 or 4 years ago have changed. And we want to strike that balance of getting the kid back as soon as they can safely without re-injuring the brain. Usually that means that a kid will not be allowed to return to play for 7 to 10 days after a concussion now. Which could be brutal for them. I mean, that's torture for them.
It is, and we completely understand that. We take that into account, but the flip side is that you get one brain, and when you're 60 years old, you want to have it
You know, we're
working
hearing
well.
so many of the NFL athletes, too, talk about how important it is to make sure we're addressing that. Now, on a totally separate note, I understand that PRP injections, and you'll have to explain to our viewers what that acronym means, but it's becoming a pretty prominent way to treat orthopedic injuries non-surgically, right?
Right, yeah. PRP stands for platelet-rich plasma. This is a way to draw your own blood, and then we spin it down and we get the extra nutrient-rich growth products out of it, and we inject it right back into the injured tissue that's having a hard time healing. And we usually do this under ultrasound guidance, it works great for conditions like chronic tennis elbow and golfer's elbow, jumper's knee, and a painful condition called trochanteric bursitis. We're studying that.
So those people those people are obviously athletes, you know, tennis players, you know, people that maybe play basketball, active people.
Yeah.
Who's an ideal candidate for these sorts of injections?
It helps if your name is Tiger or Kobe, but
Sure.
you don't have to be a professional athlete to get it done. Actually, 98% of people I do it on are just average Joes whose bodies are hurting. They may or may not be incredibly active, but we are all prone to these conditions as our body ages, and we'll help anybody. So.
Oh, well, lastly, I just got to kind of mention, I was reading your bio, and it says that you were the director of Arizona Sports Medicine, the Society of Sports Medicine.
Yes.
So
how does that, tell me a little bit more about the nonprofit organization that you work with.
This is a nonprofit members-based trade organization that basically gives ongoing medical education for the people who are involved in caring for the sports medicine community and the average patient. So you get back pain, you go to a physical therapist, and you want that physical therapist to know the doctor you're working with and kind of be up to date on the latest protocols and ways of doing things. So in addition to the ongoing education, it's a good social networking event for our profession.
Well, Dr. Kearney, it's been great to spend the last 5 minutes learning a lot about I fear that I probably will know a little bit more about sports injuries as my boys get a little bit bigger, but let's pray not. But if not, I know where to go.
All right.
We appreciate you coming on. And the Core Institute has locations in Gilbert, Goodyear, Peoria, Phoenix, Prescott, and Sun City West. If you would like to schedule an appointment with one of the fellowship-trained physicians at the Core Institute, you can give them a call at 1-866-974-2673 or visit their website at thecoreinstitute.com.